الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, yesterday we were looking at the Quranic decree on how we should interact with our parents. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us that we cannot even express the slightest displeasure towards them, cannot scold them, nor harm them in any way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to speak to them with the kindest and the most respectful of words and tones, and to humble ourselves in front of them with sincerity and serve them with honor and integrity. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finally also teaches us how we should make dua for our parents and Allah bestow His infinite mercy upon them. Now, even if the parents, they are not Muslims, we still have to treat them well, and we have to be dutiful to them, and we have to serve them as well. Asma radiallahu anha, when she asked about her mother, who was not yet a Muslim, that she would come and visit her, so she wanted some advice from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to her, "Sili ummak," that you have to maintain the bond of kinship with her. So when she comes to you, you have to entertain her and look after her as well. And in Surah Luqman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا, that even if they're not Muslim, but we need to treat our parents with courtesy, with respect, with the adab. This is how important parents are. That even if they're not Muslim, we still have to respect them and treat them kindly and fulfill their rights as well. Now, the punishment for depriving parents their rights or disobeying the parents. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that all the sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defers any of the sins He wills until the day of Qiyamah. Meaning Allah will not punish you till the day of Qiyamah. But He says that except the sin of depriving parents their rights and disobeying the parents, the punishment for that is given way before the coming of the hereafter. Right in this dunya, right in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish. So in akhirah, if we disobey our parents, we mistreat them, we speak to them with bad manners, we don't interact with them properly. So in akhirah, the punishment is there, the sin is there. But this is such a sin that in this dunya as well, in this world as well, in this life as well, you will face the consequence of your mistreatment to them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you in this world as well. This is one of the only sins where you will see the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life. So many times we go through difficult phases and we see hardships. We should ask ourselves, could this be the consequence of our disobedience to our parents? So we should seek forgiveness from our parents and ask them to forgive us if we have done anything wrong to them. Because the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is severe. Double punishment in this dunya and in the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. However, if the parents tell us to commit any act of sin, then in there we cannot avoid them. The limit of obedience with parents should not go beyond the point where we disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where it comes into conflict with the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if they force you towards sin or associating partner with Allah or shirk or anything, then we cannot obey them. Amazing story of Sa'ad ibn Waqqas radiallahu anhu, an amazing Sahaba. He became Muslim and followed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So many from his family, they tried to hinder and obstruct him from the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But everything failed. So then, and also he was one of the 10 Sahaba regarding whom Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had given the glad tidings that they are going to be in Jannah. In one gathering, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told 10 Sahaba that you will be in Jannah. And Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu was one of them. And they are referred to as Al-Ashara Mubashara, the 10 who are given glad tidings of Jannah. Now Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he was extremely obedient to his mother. And he was always caring and looking after her comfort. Now when his mother, Hamna bint Abi Sufyan, she learned that her son Sa'ad radiallahu anhu had accepted Islam, so she became very, very upset. Very upset. And she used a method that at that time people thought that this method of hers will definitely conquer the soul of Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, and he will be driven back to worship the idols. And that's emotional blackmail. And unfortunately, this is used in many families, amongst relatives. It's used a lot. So Sa'ad radiallahu anhu himself, he says, that I was a man who honored his mother. But when I became Muslim, she said to me that, "Oh Sa'ad, what is this new thing that you are doing? Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not command you to honor your parents?" So what she's saying, what's this new thing you are doing? Did Allah not command you to honor your parents? So leave this religion of yours. Leave it. Otherwise, I will not eat and I will not drink. I will not eat or drink. And if I die, then people will say, shame on you for what you have done to your mother. Then they will say that you are the one who killed your mother. So this is emotional blackmail, using it for the wrong reasons. Happens in our families many times. Parents use it on children, children use it on parents, on siblings, uncles, aunties, in-laws. It's used quite a lot. May Allah save us from this. So she says, Allah has commanded you to treat your parents well. And I am your mother. So now I am commanding you to leave the deen of Muhammad. And she took an oath by her gods, Lat and Uz. She went behind them and at the home. And she said, I will not talk to you. I will not eat or drink until you leave Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and return to the religion of your ancestors. And she said, if I die, then everyone will blame him that he was the killer of his mother. Now look at this. You know how heavy it must have been on Sa'ad radiallahu anhu. He loves his mother so much. But he says to her, oh mother, don't do that. For I cannot give up this deen of mine for anything. And the mother, she passed this stage like this for 3 days until she fainted out of extreme hunger. Now one hand is the iman and the other hand is the mother. And Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he loved his mother very much. You know, he had great respect for her without fail. And his mother knew this. She knew that he is an obedient son of mine. He respects me so much. And she thought that she could use this to make her son leave Islam. So very, very emotional moments. You know, even it's said that many people, any of us, we would be in a situation, we'll probably end up surrendering. And Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he was a teenager when he became Muslim. He was a teenager when he became Muslim, and he was amongst the first Muslims. It's mentioned around, maybe he was the 7th person who converted to Islam. And at that moment, Islam was still new. And they were facing a lot of Islamophobia. And today, Muslims, we face that a lot. But Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he had his mother's love and obedience was one thing. But the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was another. And naturally, the command of Allah came first. So Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he turns to his mother and says, "Oh my mother, by Allah, even if you had 100 lives, 100 souls, and they want to depart one by one, turn by turn, I will not give up this religion of mine for anything. I will not give up this religion of mine for anything. So if you want to eat, eat. If you don't want, then don't eat. So his mother, when she seen his resolve, she gave up and she began to eat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed revelation through this, by which Sa'ad radiallahu anhu was commanded that he cannot listen to his mother in that instance. And Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he would proudly say that there were 4 verses in the Quran which were revealed concerning me. And this was one of them. Allah says, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حُسْنًا, that we have instructed man to be good to his parents. Then Allah says, وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ لِتُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. And if they insist upon you that you have to ascribe partners to Allah, commit shirk, then Allah says, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا, then you cannot obey them. Then you cannot obey them. إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ فَأُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah says, to me is your return, and I shall tell you what we used to do. So if our parents command us to commit sin, then we cannot obey them. And we have to decline. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clear that لا طاعة لمخلوق في معصية الخالق. That there is no obedience to any creation where the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. So if any creation, whether it's parents, friends, anyone, if they command you to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you cannot obey them. किसी मखलूक को हम इताअत नहीं कर सकते जहां अल्लाह की मुखालिफत हो. So obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam comes first. So our duty to Islam, to our religion comes first. Despite any pressure from society, from friends, from relatives, from family, it does not matter. Islam comes first. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us steadfast and firm on Islam until our last breath. Amen.